Bitcoin has been featured in an episode of Futurama. There's an article from Cointelegraph we're going to be going over here in just a moment that does talk about some of the elements in the episode. Now, I have already seen this episode. It premiered on Sunday, so as of the time of me recording this video and when this article was written, it's about 2 days afterwards. But I have more opportunity now to go ahead and upload more videos on my channel. I've been really caught up in a lot of things in my personal life. I still technically have those things going on as well, but I'm able to go ahead right now to do more videos, and so I want to cover more news events for you guys. So if you're new to the channel, don't forget to hit subscribe to see what's the latest going on in crypto, and feel free to hit the thumbs up like button. It's greatly appreciated. So with that being said, let's go ahead and dive into the article, and then I'll talk a little bit more about my thoughts on the subject matter that happened in the episode itself. This is an article by Turner, who says Futurama's latest reboot takes aim at Bitcoin miners. The latest episode of the series, which first premiered in 1999, would have its audience believe humans and robots will still be mining Bitcoin in the year 3023. The animated science fiction series Futurama, which was created long before Bitcoin was even a gleam in Satoshi Nakamoto's eye, poked fun at cryptocurrency miners in the third episode of its most recent iteration. In the episode How the West Was 101001, which was released on Hulu on August 6th, the main characters find themselves in debt to the robot mafia. Spoiler alerts, obviously, in case you guys haven't seen this yet. To the robot mafia and are forced to journey west to crypto country, a parody on mining the materials needed to create Bitcoin in the literal Wild West. According to Futurama, not only is the price of Bitcoin still volatile in the year 3023, but people travel in search of, quote, cheap, filthy electricity to continue to mine blocks. The ridiculous jokes in the episode included gathering the element thallium for use in crypto mining chips, moving to the Old West town Doge City, and Bitcoin miners using such colossal amounts of power that it's ionizing the atmosphere. The show primarily poked fun at Bitcoin, but featured danged Ethereum and robot heads being used to mine crypto. Futurama first aired in March 1999, roughly 10 years before the first Bitcoin transaction, though the show had rarely, if ever, mentioned cryptocurrency prior to its most recent episode. Digital assets have steadily become a part of mainstream movies and television series, from animated shows like South Park to Mission Impossible: Dead Reckoning Part 1. Interestingly, Futurama did not address why the characters, even in a fictionalized comedic future, would still be mining Bitcoin in 3023. Based on the Bitcoin halving process, estimates suggest the last block will most likely be mined in roughly 2140. Okay, so now my thoughts on this. Well, here's the thing. I love Futurama. It's one of my favorite cartoon shows, or adult cartoon shows, however you want to label it. I guess it's an adult cartoon show. And I was excited to see that they were having an episode that had to do with Bitcoin. At the end of the day, I still enjoyed the episode, but I was a bit disappointed with the fact that some of the elements in this, they could have had a little bit more accuracy. It's not like Bitcoin just launched and there's no information out there, and just some of the basics behind this. So again, like how much Bitcoin, if you're going to have an episode focused around Bitcoin mining, the simple fact is that you can look up how Bitcoin mining works. And so the fact that they're saying here, like was mentioned at the end of the article, that the people in the future are still somehow mining Bitcoin, even though the halving event, roughly every 4 years, you have it being cut in half, right? So really raises the question here of how much research did the team behind the scripting of this episode really take place? The show's concept is that it takes place in the future. So having a little bit more accuracy in this, I think, would have played as a very strong point, a very strong part, I should say. And if you take a look at the graphic here, where it was a segment from the episode, the newscasters talking about how Bitcoin had made this bounce back in price, you can clearly see it puts the year 2023. What trajectory is the price going in 2023? Down, right? So with us right here being in August of 2023, at what point on that price chart would we be at? pretty much any point that you pick would not look good. So if it's the very, very far left, which is probably where they mean the very beginning of the 2023 time period, then it doesn't really look like it has much room to go up before it's just going to keep crashing down. So very pessimistic from the point of view of the writers about the future of Bitcoin here, except for the fact that they make it a joke as if it went completely to zero, that then in the future the price came all the way back up to what? Comparable prices to what it was back in 2023. And again, they're saying that it's from the miners, even though that technically it's not supposed to be minting any more new tokens. But also, technically speaking, there is like a small possibility that there would be an opportunity of trying to create more Bitcoins in the future. I remember very little about this being discussed in the past, but the odds of it happening are extremely small. The protocol itself is designed to have it stop at that point in time. And so the likelihood of some sort of layering system being added in seems pretty small. But guys, remember, we're talking about almost 120 years in the future from now. For us to directly say where technology is going to be placed by then, it's really hard to say. And there is a chance Bitcoin might be obsolete by then. Something else may have replaced it. And it's hard to say. We're talking about 120 years in the future here. And in this case, you're talking about 1,000 years in the future. So they're trying to make jokes. They're trying to poke fun with this. But realistically, I personally would have loved to have seen something kind of along the lines of one of the previous episodes that they had with Futurama, where Fry had put his money into a bank account and then forgot about it, and he had interest, and all these years went by, and lo and behold, now he's a billionaire. Okay, so if we look at the history of fiat, it depreciates, there tends to be hyperinflation, and it's essentially worth nothing. So if anything, a more realistic approach to the episodes would be that the cost of goods and services would be way more expensive by then. So if you went to go buy a Big Mac, it's like, oh yeah, it's $100,000. You're like, what the heck? Like, that's insane. But then you find out that $100,000 is minimum wage or something, right? So there is things that kind of fits in line with that, but you don't really see that in play with a lot of the episodes. And again, the whole point of Futurama is supposed to be playing parodies of things, playing jokes of things. So did they need to be totally accurate with this? No, they didn't need to be totally accurate with it. Would it have been appreciated from people that are in a tech-based space that's trying to see this be more widely adopted and accepted? Yeah, it would have been more widely appreciated, especially because the way that they portrayed it is in the episode almost like all the idiots are the ones that are going off and trying to mine this Bitcoin type thing. But then the main characters are the ones that go off and participate, trying to participate. Stumbling over my words, repeating them. They're trying to participate in the same activities. So let us know in the comments down below. What do you guys think about the episode? Did you like it? Did you hate it? Did you like some of the jokes? Did you like all the jokes? Do you think that it's really not a big deal? Or are you a little bit disappointed? Me personally with this, I'm a little bit disappointed. I'm still appreciative of the fact that they even had an episode that was talking about it. So it does still put it into the spotlight in the public space. And hopefully we'll see more other shows talking about it and having fun with it, because at the end of the day, if you're making a cartoon, it's supposed to have jokes, it's supposed to be funny, it's supposed to be silly, but how they approach doing it in a tasteful way at the same time, you got to find that proper balance, and it's pretty hard to do a lot of times with this stuff. You can't make everyone happy. That's what I got for you guys in this episode. Thank you so much for tuning in. If you're new to the channel, don't forget to hit subscribe, hit the thumbs up, like button, and thank you to my Patreon supporters. A double shout out thank you to WeLoveSafeMoon.com, SafeMoon Oz for being higher level patrons. Thank you to my YouTube members as well. God bless, and we'll see you in the next episode.